How we doing? Oh God, no. I take that guy's credit all the time.
We started out, everybody just go around and introduce yourselves and, you know, maybe something about Lost and puts you or something.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
As a character,
This is cool and intimate. All right. Fire away, y'all.
Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Sammy. A lot of us know each other from Facebook. We're all Lost friends, so we're excited to meet you. Yeah.
That's cool. So actually, there's a community online.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow. If I would only go online. My wife was like, I'm tired of doing your Instagram. Give me content. Yes.
Oh, she's the one that does your Instagram post.
Well, I try to give her the content and I give her the captions. She's the one that's like, get it done. And then she actually posts it. But now she's got her own, so she's ignoring it. But it's all good. It's all good. So what do y'all want to know?
I'll start by saying thank you. My name is Alni. I'm from Argentina. So I was never able, and I started watching Lost season 3 back in the day. I had to download it illegally because we couldn't get it in our country. So it was a whole chore to see you guys.
Wow.
But I lived all over, never in America until 5 years ago, and then pandemic. So this is the first time, and I get my two favorites, which is you and Ian. So thank you, because and especially your character. I just want to ask, did you really come up with Freckles and Tubby or whatever, or like Tubby?
No. No, I definitely didn't do those. But what I did do, what happened was Damon, the real creator of it all, when we shot the pilot, he came and hung out with us and wanted to party with us and go out, and so he tailored the dialogue to each character after he got to know us. And I'll never forget, we went bowling, and I was giving everybody nicknames like Drop Toe and Slug Foot. I don't know, I was just giving people, we were drunk. And he just liked that, and I would say stupid stuff like, you know, there's an eagle in every seagull. You know, and he just liked that kind of weird, so he started doing that. But I didn't actually come up with the names myself. And as a matter of fact, when they got too heavy on Jorge, because in one scene I had like 4 or 5 of them, and I called it. I said, look, you're going to have to address Jorge if you want him to lose weight for the show, because we're on an island. Don't do this to me anymore. And you got to make it right. So they had him beat me up, remember?
Yeah.
And drag me out of the tent. I'm like, that came from,
Kicked your butt in ping pong too.
Yes, he did. He kicked my butt in ping pong too, that dog. But that's where that kind of came from. You know, I was like, that's it with that.
Was there one that Jorge was like, dude, really?
No, he was always such a good sport about it. And the thing was, I was in the very beginning. The first one was Stay Puft.
Yeah.
And I was like, how am I gonna do this without coming off the complete asshole? So I asked him, hey, do you have any children's sunglasses or children's glasses? And so we found these Winnie the Pooh children's glasses, and I was reading, so that kind of took the sting out of it, because I was ridiculous looking, you know. So that worked, and that really developed our friendship. Actually, Jorge and I became close as friends as well, because we were figuring all that out. Yes, it often happens that way.
So I watched it originally when it aired, and then my daughter was about 8. I said, well, we'll start watching it together. So I did a rewatch. She was, like I said, 8. There was an episode where you came walking out of the water towards the cave, and you kind of indisposed, I guess.
Yes.
Wait till you're 13. So we stopped the rewatch real quick.
Yeah, they like to do that to me, those dogs. But my kids don't care at all. They haven't watched one episode.
Have they seen it?
They've seen Yo Gabba Gabba. Because I did that for them when they were babies. We actually had to ban it from the house because my boy would play those songs over and over and over. And we were all like, as a family, we were like, that's it for Farmer Josh. We're retiring him. But no, they just never. They saw Mission Impossible because it's just quickly. I just let them see the opening thing, and then it's over. But that's okay.
When you were in Community, like doing the paintball.
Community?
Yeah, that was great.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun. And I had gotten to know Chevy on another movie, which tanks like hell. But we became good friends on it. And he would just, because he was a huge Lost fan, him and Janie, his wife. So he'd just leave random messages on my machine, like, is the taller, more famous guy? Yeah, anyway, question about Lost. He would just always pepper me with stuff. It was fun.
That's awesome.
Colony was awesome.
Yes.
Colony was fantastic. I started watching because I finished Lost, and obviously, as many of us, I started watching Alcatraz because Jorge was there, and then like yours, and it's funny because it happened. I said it before. It's like when you start seeing something that your favorites are in, you're like, okay, what would happen if Sawyer is a global invasion? You know, and that kind of happened. And I don't know. It only lasted 2 seasons. I was so bummed when it didn't.
Yes. Well, I told them, I was like, this is America. There's a reason there's a shot clock on the NBA. If you don't show them an alien within season 2, they're going to be gone.
Was that really the reason?
Well, I was just like, you have to show the audience in America either the big war or an alien. The writing was amazing, and it was based on old photos where they came up with this of Nazi-occupied Paris. Because back in that time, it seemed like everything was okay. People were at cafes and stuff, but then suddenly your neighbor just disappears and is taken. And so it was based on that. And actually, Juan Campanella was.
Yeah, I know. I love him. He's amazing.
He's an amazing director, Argentinian director, Academy Award.
He's also in House.
So he was amazing. So yeah, that was Colony.
Would you take it back? Like people ask, would you continue Lost if for some reason if they do a sequel? But would you do Colony again?
Yes, I wanted to see the big war.
I know.
I mean, the last thing you see of me is I'm in a rubber diaper. I don't want to live in a rubber diaper. I'd be sent up to space. I was supposed to come back in like a superhuman, right? Instead, I'm the guy in the rubber diaper. Great.
One thing I'm super curious about is you always talk about, I'm sure everyone here has watched all your interviews and stuff like that, but your transition originally, you were supposed to be from Brooklyn on the island, right?
Yes.
And stuff like that.
Yes.
And you didn't know if you were going to get kicked off because you're just like this jerk, right, on the island. How about season 5 sort that's like, Winston Churchill used to read, I'm reading right now, Jack, it's my island. I mean, how was that transition playing that guy? That's something that always was fascinating to me.
It was a lot of fun because I like that he started in the darkness. He was dark as hell, and he reluctantly went to the light as time went on. And that was fun to play because, like I said, I grew up Southern and sugarcoat everything. You don't really say the way it is. And so for me to work, it really blow up that alter ego, the other side of me that like to say things how they really are. And it was therapeutic, and it was fun. And then, but I didn't like at all that he conned women. That bothered me from day one. But I was like, okay, this is part of his journey to the light, and he was always trying to be respectable like a doctor, like Jack. So the reading really, I think, was part of him also in competition with Doc, trying for Kate's love too. Like, yes, he read and he wanted to seem intelligent at the same time. So yeah, it was fun.
I think definitely the character was more street smart, more than because Jack. I mean, we can talk about this all day, but
Yes.
he was more reactive, more like out of the heart, out of the mind.
Yes.
You were more brain savvy, or your character.
Yes.
So I feel like that's like the polar opposites of both characters, and it just came out like make you look bad because you had a plan. So
Yes, and I was always like, I'd read the script and be like, thank God I'm not Jack. Because I mean, the acting he had to freaking pull off.
and
Like,
you auditioned for Jack, right?
no.
Oh, no.
It's funny enough, we all read the same sides.
Oh, okay.
It was a 4-page monologue.
Okay.
And I got it the night before. But my wife's girlfriend at the time was like, you have to get this shit's in Hawaii. So I really, I really put all I had into it. And I don't know how it came about. I just had the conversation with her about quitting, being a forest ranger, and I got my real estate license in the mail 4 days before I quit. So I filed that shit. That would have been the worst real estate agent. I mean, I don't need an email. You'd be like, I'm trying to buy the house. What house?
I would have done that. I still will.
You would have been the only 2 clients I had. 4 emails back.
Did you know that his arc was gonna go in that direction? Like when he was conning women, did you have any idea that he would not play it?
No, and as a matter of fact, the first pilot, they had me on a cliff holding Jorge, and he was too heavy, and I dropped him. He dies. And I was like, I closed the script, and I was like, to my wife, like, well, I have to find another job. Because you can't drop somebody, and then, think you're going to live the next season. And also, Jack was killed. Jack was the one in the tree.
Yeah.
That was the pilot.
Well,
So
Michael Keaton.
they were harsh in the beginning. They were like, okay, there was no redemption for us, so they were like, wait a second, we need to make a series, not a one-off. So they made Jack not die and me not drop Jorge. But I fought for any humanity that was in him because I knew this could go bad and I was the first to die. So I was like, okay, I gotta find the humanity. And any little thing they can give me, I'll roll that up as much as I could. And that's
Did you know that when you and Kate had that first kiss, that TV guys ranked it in the top 5 TV kisses?
yes, and I learned an important lesson there. Don't use your tongue. That's my first Hollywood kiss, kind of on screen, and then I saw it and I was like, ow! I look like you have to have a sweet coming together. There can't be things.
It looks more realistic though.
More realistic.
So sorry, in terms of character arcs, right? Let's say Jorge's doing this, and then you're reading the script for that. It's like, oh, your character's doing this now. Is there any joking about that? Or?
Oh, yes. We were all stepping on each other at one point, and we used to call it, I don't even know if you could say that, but I'm talking about the cocking of a gun. We used to call it, when we were confused, the inappropriate cock. No one knows what to do, cock the gun. And so there was a lot of that going on for no reason. You'd start to do a hike, and then suddenly everyone's like, So we're like, okay, who gets the appropriate cocking this time? Because you're just confused. You're like, you gotta do something. You're a big group. Activate something. So.
But it's funny, we were talking about being liked, I guess, but at the beginning you were like this villain. You stole everything,
Yes.
screwed everybody over. But by even like the 3rd or 4th episode, they were just automatically blaming you for stuff that
Of course.
So you kind of turned in, you flipped it, where you became this sympathetic character because, well, to blaming Sawyer again, he didn't have to do with the fertilizers or the heroin.
Yes, and every girl on the show punched me. I don't know if you guys. Yeah, realize that every new girl that came on, I got punched.
So you became more of a likable character.
Yes, as long I could say whatever, but I had to take my beatings.
I see a 3 in the ditch, so.
I got some good tags. The first one when I was tortured on the tree.
Oh yeah.
Evie really hit bloody my whole mouth because she did a perfect miss with her hand, but her elbow. Oh. She was like, I was like, that hurt.
I mean, you pay for that bond.
Tongue in your mouth. Tongue in your mouth.
You know that was a take that Nick did.
It did. That was a take that Nick did. Because my reaction was real. I was like,
You gonna spit right after it.
yeah, wow. But a lot of things like that when you're doing action, you get hurt. You get hurt a lot, but it's fun.
I became sympathetic
Yeah.
Right. Okay. They were good at fixing that thing, and then the audience, like I said, turned on me about the frog.
Yeah. Yeah. That was big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody do that to a frog. I'm gonna eat it. That was a small frog.
Right? Or they don't care about the
Or
frog.
delicious.
Frog.
Frog.
No, I didn't like the board game either.
No,
I knew they had to do it.
but the frog they actually had, the live frog, was a real poison dart frog from Amazon. So I had to put on a block barrier, like a clear, and it still tingled through my hand. I thought that was amazing. I got the whole real
That's
real
great.
poison dart frog.
Poison frog.
Yeah.
What were they trying to do?
I don't know. The worst was, remember the pig that came in my tent?
Yeah.
You know where they hired that pig from? Hannibal. Remember those pigs in Hannibal? Massive pig. It was 800 pounds.
Wow.
And they had me laying down.
Where you just like,
I was laying there, and you know they put all this raw meat around me.
Oh.
Throw it out, you know, the handler of this pig, and there's like, okay, you're dreaming, so close your eyes, so close my eyes, so you're dreaming, and then something's hitting my boot. I thought they was checking lightings, or rolling, and I looked up to an 800-pound bull, and I startled a little like that, which startled the pig, but he turned around, and there's 25 people there with the cameras, and turned back to me, and I was like, oh shit! And then he took off. Luckily, he took off and didn't gore me because he had the tusks. This is the real deal. So that was the scariest one. The what?
You don't know how to catch a fish.
No.
That's unreal. I'm a fisherman. I catch a fish all day long. Yes.
Oh yeah.
No kidding, and that's like, I know Taylor. Taylor's a friend of mine, so I had ridden horses with him, the creator of the show, a year before. Sliding horses raining, so I slid 7 times. We did the spin around.
And I know that you haven't watched it in 20 years, but you remember
Yes.
your feelings.
Yes.
So, of the big questions, or the questions about the show itself, because I'm sure you guys had theories, because you didn't know what was going to happen next. So obviously everybody was theorizing as we were.
Exactly.
What was your biggest thing that you didn't get an answer to that you would like to have known? Or maybe you had to ask on the side, but you know.
There's a few of those. Like, what happened to the shark? The Dharma shark?
Yeah.
What happened to that horse?
What
It was
happened
a
to
great horse. We would have been riding that horse, I thought. But the big season 1, I said to Damon, I said, I think the island is like the Death Star. And he looked at me like serious, like we've been talking to, and I was like, we did not have this conversation. I am not here. And I ran away. But I think I was on something there because they developed as they went, and because I think somewhere along their first series, all the Dharma stations were connected and could have been an engine thing that ran something that could have moved the island or through time. I don't even know how it really happened.
No, but that's because you never we knew after Eloise and everybody was the pendulum that was moving that the island moved, but they never actually addressed how it moved or the structure of it.
Exactly.
So interesting.
Yeah, and that was season 1, so it's not the time for those people. So I shut up. Yeah, it's pretty funny when that happened, you know. And then a funny one was my pool guy when I moved to Santa Barbara, and he was my pool guy. He was a Nielsen ratings family, so he was like have parties. He was like have a party for support your show, you know, for Colin. He would do that. And he named his daughter Sarah. So, I just met her 3 weeks ago. She's going on, but it's touching. That's amazing. And what was amazing about this and the other Comic-Con I just did in Germany is the generational thing. So you guys come with your daughters or sons and like, you know, you're bonding, watching this together. That is freaking good. That's the best part.
I was 5 when I was there.
Okay.
And my parents loved to watch plane crash at 5 years old.
Wow.
And I question their parenting methods all the time.
Trust me, I'm a parent. I question that.
Yeah, right? But I was like, I just like latched on. I was like obsessed. So it became our like favorite thing that we
Yeah.
But I remember I was terrified. Because for some reason I was like, oh my god, like he's gonna like hit me or something. Like I was just, but I just remember then as I grew up, I was like, oh, like your character kind of grew with me growing up.
Oh, interesting.
And so that just kind of like made me kind of, I don't know, like identify with that character a little bit. And so I think it was nice to see. And then obviously we're all groupies of the documentary. And so Crash, watch the Crash.
I see it.
I'll ask Rob to send you
No one even
the Blu-ray.
told me it was.
Should have been a premiere.
I know. No one told me about any of it. I kept asking, when is this coming out? Because I was one of the first to sign on. No one would do it. And I was like, why not?
That's crazy.
After 20 years, I was like, I'll do it alone. And then I did that, and then Damon and then we talked about being on board with J-Dick and other characters who called me, like Dan and Harold, and they were like, you doing this? Hell yeah, I'm doing it. Why shouldn't we?
Why didn't you go to the premiere then?
No one told me.
What?
Thank you. I'm serious.
All the way to LA, almost 2.5 years.
I would have been there. When did this go?
September 22nd.
Yeah, I should have been there.
Absolutely.
Let's do another one for the 25.
Yes. Yes, I just got an announcement. Is that?
When we were in Hawaii for the concert,
Yes.
this is the group of everyone in the church.
Oh, wow. Yes, it is.
Turn silent. Turn silent. So we have everyone right here in the church. That's what plays.
Wow.
And then that's your
Yeah.
And that was the premiere.
Wow.
What's going on?
Yeah, do it. Maybe they'll call me.
So you're gonna start your rewatch tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm going to try to start, I'm going to get my kids on this.
Yes.
They're old enough now. They were
Do a little podcast with your kids. Podcast. Yeah, with your kids.
Okay.
We would all
Duster they can't. Because it's the 70s.
Yes, I wanted to ask about Duster.
Oh, Duster is a wild ride. Now that shit is fun. It's like Sawyer, that a much breezier, like what the fuck ever.
Ruby Sawyer.
He's groovy. His name is Jim Ellis.
Jim Ellis.
Jim Ellis, yeah. And I'm a fixer for the Mafia in 1972. So I'm a wheelman. I drive a Duster. That's why it's called a Duster.
Great.
Duster.
Plymouth Dusters.
And I went to stunt school, so I do a lot of my own stunts. I cannot believe they let me do this shit.
Oh, that's awesome.
But,
do selfies if you guys want to line up at the end of this.
When is it coming out?
May 15th, it's airing on HBO Max.
HBO Max, nice. A random question, but just in case that you know what Harold is doing now, the show called From? Yes.
Yeah.
Is there any chance that we might get you at all? Because From is the next Lost. It really is.
I don't know. Talk to Harold, tell him to give me a job.
I will. I'm gonna call all of them.
I can't. Hold on, I got my phone right
I'm
here.
telling you.
I just met Harold recently.
Yeah.
We hear you say so.
Yes. Oh, wait.
Wait, I gotta record this.
Harold won't hire me, but son of a bitch. Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
That was on the pilot. You know what I'm saying? Son of a bitch, left, right, and then like third episode in, they're like, please tell Mr. Holloway he's not even to refer to the word shit. And he can't even say shh. Well, shit. I'm like, but I'm saying something, which is way worse. Am I wrong?
Nope.
But that's apparently that was that.
Did she? There's an F on there. She's running with the tequila, right? And she drops, she steals it from you. She slips, and it's very clear.
Well, when Anna Lucia throws you back down in the ditch and she closes it, the scene goes dark and you go,
That was fun. That was hilarious. Oh. Limited resources. Do what you can, right?
But that's like one of the things like you did something bad, but then at the end they show something that almost like you're thinking. Like when you're like when she passes away and you're preparing to go on with Jack.
Yes.
And they're like, shit, like I feel bad about this. Like they show your human emotion, like, and that's one thing that almost like an Easter egg to like, oh, this guy's good. It's just doesn't let anybody show up like he's good. So that was one quality that Sawyer had.
Awesome. I fought for that.
Yes, that's good. That's good.
Cool.
You're amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
We need another.